Hello, beautiful people. Today is Wednesday, hump day, as some may call it, but I call it Moment of Presence Day. So I am Michelle Barone, and thank you so much for being here. I welcome you if you are new, and if you've been with me before, then welcome back. So, yes, today is Moment of Presence Day, and I am Michelle Barone. I am a certified life coach. I help my clients unconditionally love and accept themselves. Bottom line. And understand their quirks, their perceived imperfections, and all that makes them who they are. And also understand why. And because when this happens, when this is done, relationships change, work changes, everything that you do changes, and life finally feels right, like you belong, and it's what you want it to be. Which brings us right into today's topic. So, today's topic, why are we here? Like, what is the purpose of this life? Is it to chase goals and aspirations? Is it a game, who has the most by the end, and then who wins? Is it, are we here to conform and be what other people want us to be, or play by the rules so we get past pearly gates? What, again, chasing goals, what exactly is the reason for life? And why are we here? Goes back to that. And what if all of this chasing after something, which we really don't know what we're chasing, what if all of this chasing, we're missing out on the reason we're here in the first place, because we're so busy paying attention to the little things, right? Or to what we think are the big things, but they're really the little things. Now, if you know somebody that should be listening to this topic of conversation today, I want you to stop right now, and I want you to go and I want you to share this video out and get them here, get them on today, and let's have this conversation. Yeah, some of it is going to be a little uncomfortable. You know what? Good. Because nothing grows in a comfort zone. Nothing. We want to expand. That's what I believe the purpose is of life. But we're going to dive more into that. So if you're ready, if you're not driving and you're in a safe place, I'd like you to join me for our breath work today. Why do we do breath work, Michelle? Great question. We do this because it centers us. It gives us a moment of escaping from the craziness that's in our mind and just take a break, right? Just shut down everything for just a moment. And it brings us into the moment of presence. So we take 3 big deep breaths. We pause for 3 seconds, and then we exhale. Okay. So big deep breath in, hold it, and then I want you just to exhale. And with this next one, I want you to breathe deep in and think of all the things that are just flying around you, right? All the things that are just crazy, all of the words, all of the sentences, all the things you think you have to do right this minute, and exhale them all out. Just let them go. And just give yourself this 20 to 30 minutes to just be here and maybe think outside of the box. Okay? Big deep breath in. And what if we just knew the purpose? What if, exhale, we could just feel like we knew why we belonged here? So that's what we're going to talk about today. So let me check the comments real quick. So true. Yes. Today's conversation is going to be all about truths, and really looking into the truth of who we are inside. So let's dive into today's topic. Why are we here? What's the purpose of life? Well, I can tell you what it's not. It is not to work until we die. Or, like I like to say, transition. That's not what life is about, is work, 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 work. And it's also not about giving so much of ourselves that there's nothing left for ourselves. For me, I like to ask questions. I like to get curious. What if everything we experience is for us, right? What if life is as simple as being here, to just be here, and to experience all emotions, all of them, and learn lessons along the way? And the gift is we get to see the beauty of life. So I'll share a belief of mine, and this is a belief of mine. It doesn't mean anyone has to believe it. It's my opinion, my belief that I have taken a lot of time to uncover within myself. I believe that we are here to learn lessons from every life that we are presented with. I believe we plan the life out before we show up, before we're born. I believe we decide what we want to experience. Maybe this lifetime I'm to experience true love and forgiveness and the process of finding peace within myself and with everything going on around us. I also believe that we decide who we will surround ourselves with, the people that will play the different parts in our life. I believe we forget all of this pretty soon after we take our first deep breaths, right after we're born. And of course, as time passes, we gain knowledge and experience, and we also add in fears and limiting beliefs, and we put walls up and we block ourselves from remembering why we came here, to experience the beauty of life. So, how do we remember? How do we live the life that we came here for? What would it mean if this was really the whole case, right? If we were the writer of the play, the casting director, the producer for the life experience, what do you think that you wanted to learn or experience this go around? So whether you believe in this or not, just play with this perspective. Just play with this for a moment. If you were the writer of the play that you're the main character in, this life as you know it, what do you think that you were planning for yourself? What is it that you wanted to learn and experience? I'm sharing this so that you start getting curious as well, so that you can maybe shift your perspective, because everything is not so black and white. There's so many colors out there. And by thinking black or white, you're missing all of the beautiful colors of life. So I get that what we believe is very personal. And some people are very committed to traditional beliefs of religion and God, divine, source, universe. There's thousands of different names. But the bottom line is for a power that's bigger than us. Simple. And I'm committed too. I'm just in a little bit of a different way. So there's some traditions that believe that God is judgmental, right? That there's going to be a judgment day, and if we don't make the cut of exactly how we're supposed to behave, that we're going to be tormented in hell for all time. I don't buy into that. I think that my version of God, anyway, is more mi casa su casa. Enjoy what I created for you. Experience the greatest gift of life. Every aspect of it. Just enjoy it. Free will, without fear. Enjoy the beauty of life. Enjoy the beauty that was created for us. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't have to work or set goals or pay bills. It just means that we have choices of what we want to experience. And it's all planned out before we even take our first breath. And so all we have to do is figure out what it is. We are here to live and love and thrive. That is right. So think of it this way. If you look at what you've experienced and learned so far in this life, is there a theme? A pattern? If you had to put yourself in the bucket of a movie, oh my goodness, the word. Are you a rom-com? Are you a horror film? Like what kind of a play did you create for yourself? And are there themes to what's happening? And then when you look at those themes, what can a person learn from those type of themes? And then you can kind of whittle out what you may have planned for yourself. Now, here's the challenging part. The barriers, the fears, all the walls you have put up, they block your view of remembering. They block the specific purpose or the lessons of why you're here. So how do we figure it all out? Well, you got to do the self-inquiry work. I know. You can't just get a reading somewhere, or you can't just have somebody give you all the answers and tell you at the end, this is what it is. This is what you're supposed to learn. Because then you're missing out. And just like you think about taking a vacation, but you're going to come back home anyway, so why bother packing and going through security and getting on a plane and going away? It's all about the journey. And so what is it about this journey, this time, this play that you created for yourself and all the people that were cast to play the different parts in your life? What was the purpose of it? So, self-inquiry work. Some call it shadow work. Some are afraid of it. I used to be. Used to scare the heck out of me. What the heck is that? That sounds very dark. Until I understood what it was and what it wasn't. Now, this work is not about integrating your shadows and making them disappear. They were created within you. They were created for you, by you, and they're here to help you. They're here to help you. And they're not here to stop you from living. Think of them more as, the guy or the girl, whoever, the person that's in charge of the spotlight on the stage. And his job is to put the spotlight where he wants the audience to focus. Think of your shadows the same way. They're there to focus the spotlight on what you need to address. Now, sometimes, spotlights work differently. So sometimes it may feel like a trigger where you have a knee-jerk reaction, you get angry, you lash out, maybe you get depressed and you isolate, maybe it's fear that stops you and prevents you from actually doing the things that you want to experience. Sometimes we have tantrums when we don't get our way. If you think of it as, oh, okay, well, maybe I need to focus on this. I need to look into this and see what makes me react this way. And this is part of what shadow work is, what it is. Resiliency, yes, absolutely. And here's the thing with shadow work. If we don't clear up the view, we can't see our true selves. We can't start to remember or realize how to live this life and learn the lessons that we plan for ourselves, which means we won't feel fulfilled or satisfied. We won't be happy. So if we're here to enjoy the beauty of life itself and find happiness, then if we block the things that are trying to help us and guide us along the way, what are we really doing? What are we really doing to ourselves? Shadows are tricksters. Yes, they are. Clearing out what I have already with your help. Thank you. Has been life-changing. Thank you. It's such satisfying work when you understand what the shadows are and why they're there and not be afraid of them. And you get to know them almost like they're, another personality inside of you. They're pieces of you. And so the real question is, how do you coexist with your shadows? Is it possible to allow them to lead us to everything we want to achieve? Why, yes, it is. Because as they shine the spotlight on things we need to address and we address them, we have more freedom. We get to expand more. We get to grow more. And then we come up to something else. And there's another highlight, another, thing to focus on. Now we get to dive into that. You just have to start paying attention. You just have to stop ignoring them or trying to squash them down into a deep hole into your heart that you say to yourself, I'll deal with on another day, some other time, not now. This is inconvenient. Well, guess what? They'll whisper in the beginning, but then they have temper tantrums. And when shadows have temper tantrums, all hell breaks loose. And that's when life is the most chaotic. Internally. Avoidance only makes shadows grow. Hallelujah. And absolutely. So when should we address our shadows? Should we address them when they're young? When we are young? Should we address them now? Should we wait and address them, before it's time for us to transition and pass on to another life? Well, I would hope that the answer would be now. Now. Because if not now, when? And what will you be missing out on if you continue to do what you've always done? Ignore, swallow them down. Which, by the way, how's your throat feeling? Because it probably is not feeling good because that's your throat chakra. So I once made the mistake of looking for more shadows to deal with before any were ready to be dealt with. But yeah, you don't want to add more shadows. Deal with the ones that you got. And here's the thing. You're never done. I've heard people say, and I used to think this way too, I've already done this. I already did shadow work. I dealt with this. Well, guess what? Every level is another level. So move from the stage, the theater of life that we've created for ourselves, and think of a game that you play. One of the old ones, right? Miss Pac-Man, let's say. It's the first one that came to my mind. There's different levels. And at every level, there's new little characters that come in. They're really the same characters. They're just dressed differently. And they're still ultimately there to prevent you and stop you from getting to the goal. So if your goal is to see and live the beauty of life, and they're there to block you, by going around them, you never get to the goal, and you keep stopping yourself. Now, when you get through them, right, you get through, you get to another level. You finish the goal of that board, and now you get to a next level. You get up leveled, and then you get up leveled again and up leveled again. It doesn't mean that life gets harder. It doesn't. It actually gets easier because now you know how to process. You know how to identify them really super quick and how to move through them really super quick. Yes, life is just like a game of Pac-Man or Galaga, whichever one. I'm kind of old school. I know. I'm aging myself, I think. But the bottom line is that now is the time. And waiting and waiting and waiting for the right time, now is the right time. And through all the work that I've had to do for myself, through all the things that I've had to experience for myself in this lifetime, I've learned to forgive those people that played parts in my life that were not good, were upsetting, were dangerous. Because it's on some level, if I planned this life before I got here, I had to communicate that to the other players, right? The other characters in my own play. And that means I asked them to play the part. And let me tell you, the people in my life that I used to feel did me wrong, they played their part damn well. And that was when I was able to start looking at forgiveness. Forgiveness for myself, because obviously I planned this on some level, but forgiveness for the other person and being grateful for the lesson. Being grateful for the lesson. That's all. What did you take from a bad situation? And how do you apply it for your future so that you can grow, so that you can expand? So this is why I became a coach, because I wanted to help other other people, other clients, everybody, anybody, communities. I wanted to specialize in this self-awareness because everybody was always so focused on, hey, we gotta be aware of other people and their behavior and then, adapt ourselves to them. We need to understand ourselves first. Then you can start looking at other people and being aware of why they do what they do. And I guarantee you're going to have more, I don't want to say sympathy, more understanding of who they are, why they are who they are, and the things that they're doing. So being self-aware is where it starts. Having your own emotional intelligence and how to embrace those life transitions, those life experiences, those life lessons. You got to be ready, because when we do this work together, you have to be ready to acknowledge and identify. And then we get to disarm what sets you off. Because once you understand it and where it's coming from, there's no need for the spotlight to be on it anymore. You can go off and focus and work on other things. But we learn from our emotions. We use techniques that lead you to responding versus reacting. You're going to have stronger relationships. You're going to handle stressful situations without absorbing the emotional baggage. You can be very emotional in the moment. You can get a little too wrapped up in drama. What do you do with it afterwards? Are you sucking it all in, or are you processing it? Are you processing and learning from it? So you're going to live a life that's more relaxed. You're going to be happier. And then you get to enjoy the gift of God, the divine, which is the beauty of this life. So if you want more information, details, I invite you to visit mokshagrace.com. My intuitive sessions inspire, they motivate and facilitate change for you. That's what this is about. But don't be afraid to work through those shadows so that you can understand your purpose, because you can't live it till you see it. You got to see it to enjoy it. You got to be in the moment to allow yourself to enjoy it. So if you're ready to jump in, book your call to just a 30 to 45-minute chat, and we'll talk about, is this the right path for you? And it may be, and it may not be. May not be what you're ready for. And that's cool too. You're going to get something from the call. You're going to get some clarity, an aha moment. That's my goal for those calls. So remember to subscribe, like, and share these videos. Go over, if you're on Facebook, go over and join the Calm the Chaos Facebook group. You can follow me on LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube. I'm all over the place. In the Facebook group, there are chances for Q&As, a community of like-minded people that are working to understand how to enjoy the beauty of this life, just like you are. Because if you're here, I'm guessing that's why. And remember that every day can be the best day or the worst day. And you get to make that choice. So choose wisely. And thank you for being here. And I will see you next week.